save a...
If gravity is what's holding everything down on Earth, where does the gravity come from? Stick with me, because the next few minutes are about to debunk gravity irrefutably. They told you gravity comes from the Earth's mass, that big objects pull smaller ones toward them. Sounds clean, right? Sounds settled. But think about this for a second. A ship sitting on the ocean, a skyscraper bolted into concrete, a rainstorm forming miles above your head. All of it supposedly being held in place by an invisible force that no one has ever seen, touched, or explained from the ground up. Here's the part they glossed over in your science class. The man who gave us gravity's formula, Isaac Newton himself, admitted he had zero idea what was causing it. His exact words? He said he would not pretend to know. He gave us the math, but he never gave us the why. And today, hundreds of years later, the answer is still the same. We don't know. Now ask yourself, if we can clone animals, land machines on other planets, and fit a supercomputer inside your pocket, how is the force that supposedly governs every single object on Earth still unexplained? Unless the explanation we were given was never the full story. And here is where it gets heavy. No pun intended. Picture this. You are standing on a spinning ball, spinning at over 1,000 miles per hour at the equator, tilted at an angle, flying through space at 67,000 miles per hour around the sun. And the only thing stopping you from being flung off into the dark vacuum of space is gravity, this invisible, unexplained force that no scientist can fully define. Does that not bother anyone else? All right, so here's the thing. Physics, for all its power and precision, just isn't perfect. There are places and situations where the rules we've relied on for centuries just stop working. It's not just odd or inconvenient. It's a real problem. The universe at its edges doesn't play by the rules we thought we understood. And honestly, that's a bit unsettling, isn't it? Because it gets worse. The same science that tells you gravity is real also admits that at the quantum level, the tiny world of atoms and particles, gravity basically breaks down. It stops making sense. The equations fall apart. Two of the biggest theories in all of physics, general relativity and quantum mechanics, cannot be reconciled when it comes to gravity. They are not compatible. Scientists call it one of the greatest unsolved problems in physics. So let that land. The force they told you is responsible for everything. The tides, the orbits, your weight, is also the thing that breaks their own best models of reality. You were handed a confident answer to a question that science itself has never fully solved. And the moment you start asking the follow-up questions, things get very interesting very fast. Because the evidence that gets quietly left out of the textbooks tells a completely different story. So what if falling and floating and weight have nothing to do with invisible pulling forces? What if density and buoyancy explain everything we see on Earth? Heavy things sink, light things rise, no mysterious force needed, no invisible pull, just the natural behavior of matter in a medium. A rock sinks in water not because the Earth pulled it down, but because it is denser than the water around it. A balloon floats up not because gravity weakened, but because it is lighter than the air surrounding it. Simple, measurable, observable. So when you look at the world this way, the explanations seem a lot more straightforward, don't they? It's all about what things are made of and where they are, not some unseen force acting at a distance. The evidence is right in front of us, plain as day, if we're willing to pay attention. Maybe, just maybe, it's time to rethink what we've been told and look at things with fresh eyes. All right, so take oil and water in a glass. You don't actually need gravity to explain why oil floats and water sinks. It's all about density. That explains it completely. Now, just scale that up a bit. Apply that same thinking to everything in our world. Weather systems, ocean layers, sediment in rivers, how hot air rises and cold air drops. Every single example works with density and buoyancy. No invisible force required. And here's the one that, well, makes people stop cold. NASA, the very organization that's supposed to prove we live on a spinning globe in space, has admitted in their own technical documents that a lot of their calculations actually assume a flat, non-rotating Earth model for certain flight and atmospheric measurements. Not because they believe the Earth is flat, but because flat and stationary models just produce more accurate results for specific applications. Their words, not ours. So the next time someone tells you the debate is over, just ask them why the agency with the most satellites in orbit still finds it useful to model the Earth as flat and still. The question was never really whether the Earth is flat or round. The real question is, why are we still being handed settled answers to questions that even the experts are quietly still working on? If this video made you uncomfortable, good. If it made you curious, even better. Because that feeling, that itch that something does not quite add up, that's your mind working exactly the way it should. There's a lot more where this came from. Every video on this page is built the same way. No lectures, no preaching, just the stuff they left out. The questions that don't have clean answers. The details hidden in plain sight. Drop what you think in the comments. Seriously. Tell me one thing from this video that hit different for you. And then go hit the next video, because what comes after this one connects directly to everything we just talked about. You'll want to see it before anyone else does. If gravity